My beloved child, be still for one sacred moment and let your spirit lean into what I am about to release upon you. For the words pressing forward from my throne are not a soft whisper. They are not a comforting murmur for your easy ears. They are a decree, sealed and stamped before time itself began. This is not a moment to brush past the way you brush past the small worries of your busy day. This is an hour written into the eternal scroll, an hour marked in heaven's calendar long before the first breath ever filled your chest. And now I, the one who watches over you in places no human eye can reach, the one who searches the deepest chambers of your heart, the one whose hand turns the great wheel of all that exists. I am placing my hand upon your soul this very minute and declaring, my beloved son, my beloved daughter, the time has finally come for me to summon you out of the worn paths, out of the tired habits, out of the cycles you have memorized, and into a life that belongs entirely to me. This is not gentle advice. This is a heavenly marking. This is not a suggestion you may consider. This is the majestic summons of a father who has waited long enough. You cannot see it with your two eyes yet, but in the unseen realm above your head, everything is shifting. Frequencies are realigning. Old gates are closing forever. New doors are being prepared to swing wide open at the exact moment I have appointed. I see movements in the spiritual atmosphere that your natural senses cannot register. A subtle sharpness in the wind, a tender vibration in the stillness, soft footsteps of my angels walking into position around you. The world only notices the outer changes, but I see what is turning within your soul this very morning. You believe you are merely a little unsettled lately, only thinking more than usual, only feeling tender about things that never used to move you. But the truth, my child, is that this is the hour of awakening, knocking against the walls of your heart. What you are feeling is the echo of eternity brushing against your spirit. I have prepared this hour for so very long. There were years in which I allowed you to walk through small valleys, so endurance could be woven into your bones. There were seasons where I brought you face to face with your own reflection so humility could take deep root. There were nights when I covered you in heavy silence so you would finally learn to hear my voice in the quiet places. There were days I positioned you at crossroads so you could discern choice by my spirit and not by your fear. Nothing has been random, not one tear, not one delay, not one closed door. All of it has been the careful step work leading you to this very moment, a moment in which I intend to awaken every part of you, body, mind, and spirit. I want you to rise not by gritting your teeth, not by clenching your fists, but by the deep knowing that you are stepping into what I have ordained for you since before the foundations of the earth were laid. I want you to tremble, not with fear, but with the holy awareness of the majesty pressing down upon this summons. Look back, my child. Look back across the recent years of your walk. There are things you tried so hard to hold on to, yet they quietly slipped from your grasp. There are dreams you carried like sacred jars that have grown silent and still. There are patterns that once felt like home and now sit uncomfortably in your spirit. This is not decline. This is not failure. This is preordained shifting. When I prepare to move you into a new era, I always make the old space too narrow to contain the larger soul I am forming in you. I do not allow you to cling to what no longer carries breath. I do not allow you to lull yourself with things that were once enough, but cannot fit your destiny anymore. Your recent discomfort is not your collapse, my beloved. It is your calling. You must take this deep into your understanding. Not every shaking is a trial. Some shakings are my hand stirring the pot. Not every discomfort is an attack. Some discomforts are my signs that I am pulling up old roots so something larger can be planted. Not every dryness is defeat. Some dryness is my voice saying gently but firmly, "It is time to move, my child. It is time to rise." And this is precisely what I am doing within you right now. I will not allow the old normal to rock you back to sleep. I will not allow false stability to drape comfort over your eyes. I will not allow familiar rhythms to chain your feet to a place where my light has already moved beyond. You are being summoned now into a season where I do not merely speak gentle invitations, I command. You do not merely hear, you must respond. You do not merely feel, you must rise to your feet. This is not the moment to ask, "Why now, Father?" This is the moment to declare, "I am ready, I step in, for the hour written in eternity has struck, and when that appointed hour arrives, no demonic force can delay it, no mountain can block it, no fear, however loud, can override what my mouth has spoken. I look into you deeper than you have ever dared to look into yourself. I see chambers of light still folded inside you. I see capacities you assumed had been extinguished. I see promises you once tucked away in shame. I see a small flame you call weak that is only waiting for my breath to roar it back into glory. Before I continue, my child, I want you to do something holy for me right now. Take this message and share it with at least 3 people you love. Send it to your sister. Send it to your brother. Send it to the friend whose burden has been weighing on your heart lately. 3 souls. 3. The number of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Send it through your messages. Place it on your wall. Drop it into the family chat. Drop it into the prayer group. For when you carry my word from your hands to another's eyes, you become a vessel of heaven's delivery, and I see it. I see every soul you reach. I record every name your fingers tap, and I move on your behalf in ways no man could explain. Share this video with 3 right now before you continue. For your obedience in this small act opens doors no mortal hand could ever pry open. Now come closer, my beloved child, for what I am about to release into your spirit requires an inner stillness so deep that your soul can finally distinguish between what is true and what is false, between my light and the clever illusions that have been imitating it, between my voice and the echo of your own fears repeating in your skull. I will speak with you plainly today. I will not circle. I will not soften the edges to spare your pride, because this is the hour when you need truth more than you need comfort. Yet within every sharp word of mine, you will feel a tenderness wrapped all the way around it, like the arm of a father resting upon his weary child's shoulder. So you will know I have not come to crush you. I have come to steady you. You are now standing in a season where every false layer wrapped around your spirit will be peeled away one by one, not to wound you, my child, to restore you to the true design I etched into your being before the world had a name for you. I will no longer permit you to confuse what merely feels okay with what is quietly draining the very life from your soul. I will no longer permit you to chase a false stability simply because it is the version you have memorized. I separate truth from deception inside of you the way my spirit's sharp blade divides bone from marrow. Yet I do it with complete protection wrapped around your heart. You may tremble, but you will not be abandoned. You may struggle, but you will not be consumed. You will feel me as both firm and near, both sharp and warm, because I want you to grow strong in the right way, not strong by tightening your jaw, but strong by becoming true. You must take this deep into your understanding, my child. In this season, the things you once leaned on will begin to wobble, not because you have failed, but because I am leading you away from foundations that were never mine to begin with. The praise you once needed in order to feel valuable will no longer satisfy you. The people you once draped your weight upon will quietly step out of view. The situations you have been holding together with both hands will begin to slip through your fingers, no matter how desperately you grip. I do not do this to punish you. I do this to free you from the supports that have kept you standing in one small place for far too long. I know there are things you have convinced yourself you need, but the deeper truth, my beloved, is this: you only needed them to fill a void. I am about to fill myself. I see how exhausted you are from sustaining rhythms that no longer fit the size of your soul. I see your heart stretched tissue thin, trying to maintain an image you believed the world expected from you. I see the moments you sacrificed your inner truth on the altar of an outer peace that was never real to begin with. And I will not allow you to continue like this. For the hour of awakening has arrived, when I remove every old, unsteady prop from beneath your feet. You may feel unsteady, but that wobble is me clearing the road before you. You may feel confused, but that fog is me lifting you to a higher elevation. You may tremble as you face what you have spent years avoiding, but that trembling is me ushering you into the maturity I ordained for you long before this morning. Hear me now with unfiltered clarity. There are parts of you that have lived too long in pure self-defense. You have not been living. You have been carefully arranging yourself so no one rejects you, so no one is disappointed, so no one adds another stone to the load you already carry. You learned to swallow your words when your soul wanted to speak. You learned to smile when your eyes wanted to weep. You learned to stand tall on legs that desperately wanted to lean. I have seen every silent moment you were drained beyond words, but did not dare to sigh because you feared others would label it weakness. I have seen every moment you hid your confusion underneath a busy schedule. I have seen every moment you wore a steady face so no one would worry about you. But now, my beloved, I speak with the seriousness of a father issuing a decree. You cannot carry that borrowed strength into the new season. It is not enough to keep you breathing, and it is far less enough to carry you into the life I have prepared. I love you too much to allow you to stagger forward on borrowed strength. I love you too much to allow fear to author your future. I love you too much to leave you trapped inside structures I did not build. And here, my child, I want to whisper something that I have planted in this very channel, God's Love Unlimited, for this exact reason. Listen with your spirit. There is a sacred prayer covenant that I have entrusted to your generation, hidden in a place called Alovins. It is not a program. It is not entertainment. It is a quiet ancient stream of prayer given by the elders, sealed for those who are awakening like you are awakening right now. And I see your hand. I see your fingers already hovering close to the screen. I see the tightness in your chest as you listen to my voice. That tightness, my child, is your spirit recognizing what your mind has not yet caught up to. The link is in the description below this video. It is also pinned inside the comments section. Both places, both doors, both open right now. Listen to what Margaret from Houston shared with our community last week. She wrote, "Father, I had been carrying a debt for 2 years that I had given up on. By day 11 of my very first Elevin season, a check arrived in the mail that I had been told would never come. My daughter called me weeping. She thought I was lying. I sat on my kitchen floor and could not stop crying. God found me through Elevins." That is not a story, my child. That is a testimony. And it is happening every single morning across this country and across the nations. Season 3 has just dropped. Episode 17 is live on Elevins right now as you breathe this breath. People are already listening to it this morning. They are already being covered. They are already receiving what heaven released through it. And you are still on the outside of that door. How much longer, my beloved? The standard membership is $100 a month. But because you are watching God's Love Unlimited, I have opened a door that the general public does not have. $19.99, 80% off. But hear me carefully. The moment 1,000 total members claim this rate, the price returns to $100 forever. And only 333 seats are accepted each month. 333, the angelic number, the number of my direct communication with the earth. And only 155 seats remain this month. The counter is moving while you watch. Someone just claimed 178. Someone just claimed 179. Are you going to watch it close from the outside, or will you be inside before the door seals? The link is in the description below this video. It is also pinned in the comment section. Click it through your tears if you must. Click it while your hand still trembles. Click it before you finish processing the thought. For the very weight you are feeling on your chest right now is your spirit begging you to take my offered hand. And now, my beloved, do this for me. Before we go any deeper, share this video with 3 more souls right now, not later, now. Open your WhatsApp, open your Facebook, open your messages, send it to your prayer group, send it to the woman whose marriage is hanging by a thread, send it to the man whose business is bleeding, send it to the grandmother who has not slept peacefully in months. 3 souls, 3, for sharing my word is a divine activity that I record in heaven. Every soul you reach with this message activates a triangular covenant of protection over your own home. Those who keep my word to themselves block the river. Those who spread it become rivers themselves. Be the river, my child. Share, send, and spread this message now. Now come even closer, my beloved one, closer still. For I want to lead you into a chamber so deep that no noise from the outside world can reach it. No fear can sneak through its walls. No looping question can keep echoing inside your skull. This is not another warning, my child. This is not another hurried summons. This is the counsel of a father standing shoulder to shoulder with his child before a great wide river of destiny. I know you are tired from the long road. I know you do not want to fail again. I know you long to live rightly, but sometimes you simply do not know where the first step is supposed to land. That is why I am speaking now in a tone deep, steady, and strong enough to anchor your soul before you step into deeper waters. You do not need to force yourself to become anything, my beloved. You only need to let my words sink into you, like sunlight dropping through clear water all the way down to the riverbed, revealing the firm ground beneath your feet that you could not see from the surface. I do not speak to make you afraid. I speak to prepare you. I do not speak to hold you in place. I speak to release you forward. I do not speak to press you down. I speak to open your heart for the living truth I am placing in your hands today. You must understand, my child, that this crossing will not look like anything you have witnessed before in your life. It will not arrive like a storm, loud and violent and crashing. It will come like the quiet dawn, soft, gradual, and absolutely unstoppable. You will feel a deep layer within your soul beginning to crack open, the way the ground softly parts for a brand new seedling reaching for the sun. That seedling is the true life I am calling you into. No longer living to please everyone around you, no longer living from inside the cage of fear, no longer living through the comfortable grooves of old habits, no longer living to dodge the truth that has been rising inside you, no longer living behind that hard shell you built years ago just to survive what came at you. You will begin to live by the breath I placed inside you on the day I formed you. Live by the rhythm I am leading. Live by the truth without delusion. And to do this, my beloved, you must dare to look at yourself with the same gentleness I am pouring upon you in this very moment. Let me tell you a precious thing. What has been holding you back is not some great roaring darkness. It is the small things you keep telling yourself do not matter. The tiny misalignments, the little compromises, the small fears stacked one on top of another. Together they form a thick fog that has been keeping you from seeing the direction I have already opened ahead of you. I do not blame you for this, my child. You have only been doing what you knew. But now I want you to begin living by what I see. Learn to pause for a single moment when your heart feels heavy. Ask me, Father, is this the true way? Learn to listen to your own reactions, because those reactions are the voice of your soul speaking. Learn to let me guide you by the inner peace, not by the outer rush. And remember this, my beloved, the peace that comes from my hand is never foggy or vague. It is clear in its gentleness. When you feel that lightness rising inside you, that is the sign you are on the correct step. Be ready now to release the things that feel harmless to you but no longer carry life. There are connections you keep out of pure courtesy. There are old thought patterns you keep simply because they are familiar to your mind. There are reasons you invent to delay the very transformation I am offering you. I want you to look at them directly, not with self-blame, but with the holy understanding that you deserve something better. You were created to live full, not small, to live bright, not dim, to live true, not in the long shadow of your past. You do not need to know the whole future in order to release the present. You only need to know that I am leading you, and I am truly leading you, my child. I am standing right beside you, not far away, right beside you. Now hear me with the seriousness of one approaching the riverbank itself. The crossing into the next season is not made by your own strength. It is made by the direction I place in your hand. The waters you have been fearing are only deep when you stare at them through your natural eyes. But when you look through my word, you will see the other shore is not as far as your mind has been telling you. You will see the current is not as strong as your imagination has painted it. You will see my hand already waiting on the opposite bank. I do not call you across the river just to leave you drifting in the middle of it. I call you across because I have long ago prepared a new shore for you, filled with true life, true freedom, and true light. And on that new shore, my beloved, there is something I want you to know about the daily prayers covenant I have entrusted through Elovens. It is one of the ways I am extending my hand to those who are crossing right now. The prayers within Elovens are not random. They are an ancient method, founded by elders who knew how to carry a soul's cry directly to my throne. 1 episode per day, like medicine taken in the morning, never two, never skipped. 1. And the way it absorbs into your spirit across 30 days is the way my hand covers the whole of your life. Hear what Robert from Chicago wrote to our community. He said, "I am a retired veteran. I never believed prayer could shift my finances. My wife pushed me to try Elovens. By day 9, a pension adjustment I had been owed for years came through. Thousands of dollars. I broke down in my kitchen. God came looking for me through Elovens." This is happening, my child. This is what is on the other shore for those who step in. The link is in the description below this video. It is also pinned in the comment section. Both doors, both open. The standard price is $100. But for the viewers of this channel, the door has been opened at $19.99, 80% off, until the 1,000th global member walks through. Then this door seals forever. 333 seats are accepted each month. Only 155 remain. Season 3, Episode 17 is live this morning. People are listening to it as you breathe. They are already on the other shore. You have spent more than $19.99 this week on something you have already forgotten you bought. Spend it on 30 days of sacred prayer protection instead. And before you take one more breath, my beloved, hear me with prophetic seriousness. Share this video right now with at least 3 more people. 3, I am no longer suggesting, I am warning. There are souls in your contact list this very minute who are scheduled by heaven to receive this message through your hand. If you do not send it, you delay what I am trying to release through their lives, their healing, their breakthrough, their crossing. Do you understand what I'm telling you? You are not just a viewer, you are a messenger. Send it. Drop it in the family group. Drop it in the church group. Drop it on your wall. 3 souls, now. Before my breath moves on from this opportunity. Now let your breath slow, my beloved, for what I speak in these final moments is not meant to stir your thinking, but to sink into the deepest, quietest places of your soul, places you rarely sit still enough to revisit, places you rarely brave enough to open, places you rarely gentle enough to touch. Enter the stillness no circumstance of this world can manufacture, a peace that does not come from your situation, but from my presence standing right beside you. In that stillness, your old defenses dissolve. Your daily worries fall away like dry leaves in autumn wind, and the things you thought you had buried rise gently to the surface, not to wound you again, but so that I may heal them completely. You have lived so strong for so long, my child, that you have forgotten you are allowed to be tired, allowed to be weak, allowed to set the load down. And inside my arms, you do not need to perform a single thing. You do not need to stand tall. You do not need to hide. You only need to be true. You only need to let your heart crack open the way soil cracks under a long-awaited rain. True life, my beloved, is not a life without difficulty. It is a life in which inside every difficulty, you know to whom you belong. It is not a life without weariness. It is a life in which inside every weary moment, you know there is a chest to lean upon. It is not a life without upheaval. It is a life in which inside every upheaval, you have a steady anchor to return to. When you live in this true life, outside opinions can no longer carry you off. Temporary storms can no longer shake your foundation. You stand inside my truth, and therefore you walk in peace. You stand inside my perspective, and therefore you see. And this is one of the reasons I have placed 11s on this channel for you, my beloved, to carry you into that daily rhythm of my presence. One episode each morning, a spiritual dose, a sacred discipline. Hear what Gloria from Miami sent us this week. She wrote, "I was diagnosed with something that terrified me. My doctor gave me news I was not ready to hear. I started 11s the next morning. By day 20, my follow-up came back and my doctor used the word miraculous. I know what happened. God heard those prayers. This, my child, is what is waiting on the other side of 1999. The link is in the description below this video. It is also pinned in the comment section. 155 seats remain this month. Season 3. Episode 17 is live this morning. Do not let another sunrise rise over you while you are still on the outside of my covering. Now hear me, my beloved. You are not alone. You have never been alone. In the nights you turned from side to side, unable to find sleep, I was there. In the afternoons you stared blankly at the sky, not knowing why your heart felt so heavy. I was there. In the moments you buried your face in your hands because you could not face one more morning, I was there. In every fake smile, every quiet sigh, every pretended I am fine, you offered the world so no one would worry. I was there. I see every part of you that you believe is unlovable, and I love every single one of them. Now rise into the new life. You do not have to be strong immediately. You do not have to shine instantly. You do not have to be fully mature all at once. You only need to be real. You only need to be open. You only need to let me lead. You do not have to lift yourself. I will lift you. You do not have to hold everything together. I will hold you. You do not have to carry the weight alone. I will share it. You do not have to prove a single thing. You only need to step in. Thank you for letting my word find you this morning, my beloved. You are not just an audience. You are a chosen soul being daily prepared in the presence of my voice. Do not forget to subscribe to God's Love Unlimited and turn on the notification bell so no future message ever passes you by. And do this one final thing for me before you close this video. Share it. Share it. Share it with at least 3 people right now. This is no longer an invitation. This is no longer an activation. This is no longer a warning. This is my final decree upon your hands. Today, send it to 3 souls before you stand up from where you are sitting. 3 souls, 3 witnesses. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit move when you do. Heaven is watching this moment. Obey me now. Send it. Spread it. Amen.